Lalo THR here. What's going down, everybody? I hope you're doing well. I know I'm doing well because, baby, Mexico made history. 3 games, 9 points, leading the group without conceding a single goal. I couldn't be happier for this team. I don't like the way they're playing, and that's something that I really want to get established right away as I'm recording this, because there's so many people that are like, you see all you doubters that have been doubting Mexico, and now look, they proved you wrong, and they're getting results, and results are all that matter. And it's like, bro, relax. Nobody is doubting Mexico. The problem is that I don't like the way they're fucking playing. And I don't have to like the way they're playing. Yes, they're getting results. They just made history, man. You know, they could get knocked out in the round of 32 this Tuesday. It doesn't matter. They already made history because for the first time ever, Mexico secured 9 points in the group stage, and they did so without conceding a single goal. Do I respect that? Hell yeah. Do I like the way they're playing? Hell no. Now, the second half of that Czech Republic game was entertaining as hell. That's the Mexico that I fell in love with. That's the Mexico that I was used to seeing back in, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 2014 Mexico. That squad that went to Brazil. That's a squad that could have had a deep run. This squad right now is like the most unlikeliest squad you could think of that could actually have a deep run, but they might just do it. The crazy bastards might just do it because El Vasco Aguirre has done something for this team that no other coach has been able to do in quite some time, which is he's given them an identity. Every single player on this team has a role, and they know exactly what they need to accomplish in said role. The Mexico under Tata Martino and Diego Coca, and even to a lesser extent, Osorio, right? The Colombian cat. All the players were discombobulated. They didn't really play their role correctly. He did all these cambios all the time. Hence the nickname Cambios Osorio. And, it was just weird. And I was still optimistic for him. Then Tata Martino comes along, and he has the team playing a very strict, rigid, kind of predictable form of play. And it actually ends up being the worst that we've ever looked, and of course it's an Argentine coach that has us looking like that. And what do you have it when Mexico plays Argentina? The Argentine coach benches our best player, Edson Alvarez. Now I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that whole thing is kind of sus to me. Why? How are you gonna bench our most important player in such a crucial game? But anyway, I digress. I don't know what the hell kind of tangent I'm going into now. El Vasco Aguirre has done something a lot of other coaches have not been able to do. He's really molded this team into knowing exactly what they need to do over the course of 90 minutes. This is incredible, man. I just, I could not be happier. I don't like the way they're playing, but hell, they're getting results. I don't know if this shit's gonna be sustainable in the knockout rounds. Now it's being projected that the likeliest opponent for Mexico is now slated to be Ecuador. Ecuador just stunned Germany today, beating them 2-1. Germany, always Germany, bro, in these crazy, turn of events. Like, thanks to Germany now, the Scotland game might just be out the window. And we're still pending some results here and there. I don't this whole third place team thing, it's still kind of confusing to me. I'm a little slow, as if you can't tell. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm self-aware. I know. But Ecuador is a tough cookie to crack, man. It's a tough nut to crack. I'm tired. It's 9:41 p.m. right now. I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet. I'm not afraid of Ecuador. I'm not saying that we won't beat them, In fact, I think that Ecuador is probably better than a Senegal, because I think the U.S. might actually get Senegal in their third place match, or their round of 32 match against a third place team. It's being projected right now, most likely Bosnia, but there's a chance Senegal could also be in the sweepstakes there. I would much rather play Ecuador than Senegal. But with that said, man, I was really looking forward to a Mexico Scotland encounter just because of the vibes. That would have been absolutely iconic just for the vibes. You got two aficionados who are hardcore beer drinkers, and like, bro, it would have been a party. Mexico would have ran out of fucking beer, dog. They would have ran out of beer and whiskey and fucking tequila. They would have ran out of all the alcoholic beverages. You know, they would have had to ship beer out from fucking Canada, dog. You know, because they would have drank all the beer from the U.S. too. It would have been a crazy, crazy event, bro. Mexico, Scotland, or Mexico, Ireland too. That's another one that would have been dope to see. But Scotland, I mean, they're like, you know, kind of similar culture, Irish and Scottish. So either way, they're both heavy beer drinkers just like us, and that would have been dope. Just for the vibes, it would have been dope. You know, I would much rather us play Scotland than Ecuador. But I'm not afraid of Ecuador. I'm not saying we can't beat them. We have a winning record against Ecuador. There's a lot of people trying to spread around fear, and of course USMNT fans talking their shit. They just got their shit pushed in by Turkey, by the way. That was hilarious. I probably already opened with that, actually, talking about that, but that's just funny to me. And of course, they're already going to their number one excuse. Oh, we sent our B team. They always say that. Their XYZ team. Yeah, because they're already qualified to the knockout, so they sent their B team. Okay, well, we did too against Czech Republic, more or less, and we beat them 3-0. Kept a clean sheet the whole group stage. And don't sit there and say that suddenly our group was the easiest group when you motherfuckers were telling us that we were gonna get group. A lot of USMNT fans were saying Mexico was gonna lose to South Korea and Czech Republic and maybe draw South Africa. and here we are, the only CONCACAF host to win the group without conceding a single goal. And y'all just got beat by Turkey, a team that couldn't beat Paraguay with a man down. Y'all couldn't beat South Korea last year in a friendly. I know it's a friendly, but still. Y'all couldn't beat South Korea, but oh, we were in the easiest group. All right. You know, speaking of South Korea, this is a good segue. Terrible and good at the same time. The biggest plot twist of the World Cup thus far, man, for me, is South Korea coming in second. Coming in third in Group A. I thought they were gonna come in second. I still can't believe it. That's why I'm still saying South Korea came in second. I can't believe it. The fact that South Africa beat them and came in second place when it looked like they didn't have a prayer. Many people thought South Korea were gonna beat Mexico, bro. That's the funny thing about it. And now they lost to South Africa. They're in third. And they run the risk of not making it to the knockouts. But even if they do make it to the knockouts, quite frankly, I mean, I don't know. They're saying their projected team is to be Egypt. And I don't know, man. I kind of fancy them over Egypt, to be honest, just because I'm just talking out my ass. I'm ignorant because I don't follow the Egyptian national team or anything. But as far as I know, like, their only good player is Mohamed Salah. At least that's the only player I know, and the only player that ever gets talked about as far as Egypt goes. So I actually fancy South Korea against Egypt, but then again, everybody thought they were everybody thought South Korea was gonna beat Mexico. Like, a lot of people, not just the haters either. It wasn't just the haters that were gaslighting themselves. It was also like just regular football fans that were neutrals. Even a lot of people thought South Korea were gonna beat Mexico. And these motherfuckers lose to a team that were perceived as the weakest team in all of Group A, and perhaps one of the weakest teams in the entire tournament. They lose to South Africa and got dropped down to third place. This is the biggest plot twist of the World Cup so far. I just cannot believe it. I'm still stunned. A day removed. I had a whole day to process these turn of events. The amazing send-off that Ochoa got. I mean, bro, when he kissed the poste, bro, I wanted to choke up. But I had my wife sitting there with me. I'm not about to cry in front of my wife. I just can't do that. But man, that was, it's just like information overload, a stimulation overload. I don't know what you call it, but it's just been so much, man. I just cannot believe these turn of events. And I was talking to my wife today about it. All in all, like for both of us, this might actually be our favorite World Cup now. So and it's not even over yet. Like I know me for sure. My favorite World Cup has always been the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, just because that's the first one that I watched like all the way through. That I followed Mexico all the way through, and then when they got eliminated inevitably, I continued to watch, and I watched the Spain Netherlands final and everything, because that Spanish squad was just out of this world. And that's the World Cup that really made me into a fan of the sport itself from that point forward. So it has a special place in my heart. I will die on this hill as well that the FIFA World Cup in 2010 South Africa has the greatest World Cup theme song ever, and it cannot and will not ever be topped. Nothing touches it. And I'm not talking about Shakira Waka Waka bullshit. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Waving Flag by somebody. I forgot his name, but that song is just absolutely iconic. Iconic. And everything about it, I mean, I remember buying the game, FIFA World Cup 2010 South Africa for Xbox 360, and I just have so many memories of that time period, man. I was still young. I just got into my 20s, like, bro, yeah, I'm an unk, as they say. But honestly though, this World Cup is not even halfway over yet, and this is already like my favorite, like even more so than South Africa, even more so than Brazil. This World Cup here is going down as my all-time favorite now, just because I got to see Mexico win the group, as they say, without conceding a single goal, dog. All 9 points. That's just incredible. Incredible, dude. Like, I couldn't be happier. Like, I'm already happy. Whatever happens after now, I mean, of course, I want us to have a deep run, but the World Cup is brutal, man. It is brutal. It's where dreams are made, and also where dreams are shattered. And again, with Ecuador now being heavily projected to be Mexico's round of 32 opponent, it's gonna be a nail biter, because both of these teams are defense oriented. It might be actually, now that I think about it, it low key might be a high key, might be the most boring game of the whole damn knockout stage right here, because Mexico and Ecuador, they mirror each other in a lot of ways. Like, they're very similar, these two teams. It's gonna be interesting. It might be a fucking snooze fest though. We'll see. But I'm disappointed, man. I was really looking forward to Scotland being our rivals in the round of 32, and it would have been an easier game. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, of course, that's also a factor. It would have been an easier opponent, I believe. I surmise to believe, not by a whole lot much, but it would have been easier. I think that Scotland playing in Azteca would have been very much so a new experience for them, and it might have definitely affected their play. There's a reason we're undefeated at Azteca in this tournament. There's a reason that in I don't know how many freaking years Mexico's only been beaten like 3-4 times at Azteca. Like, there's a reason, man. It truly is a fortress, and that advantage is just crazy. It's just crazy. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, let me address my failed prediction of a draw, a 0-0 or 1-1 draw between Mexico and the Czech Republic. I was way off the mark. Obviously, my batting average is not 100%, never claimed to be. Mexico won 3-0 against the Czechs. I predicted a draw, a stalemate. And, the reason for that assumption on my part is because there was nothing in the Africa or Korea game, the South Africa or Korea Republic game, that convinced me that Mexico has that extra gear to shift into to be more attack oriented. They came out swinging in the second half. What can I say? Mateo Chavez, scoring his first goal ever for the national team, and it's at a World Cup. Like, man, that's a hell of a resume already. Like, when was your first goal for the national team? Oh, it was at the World Cup. I mean, that's incredible. I'm very happy for Mateo Chavez. I've been said that this kid, he's a better version of Gallardo, but they do have different styles. It's kind of, I know they play at the same position, so I mean, obviously it's fair to compare them, but I feel like at the same time it's kind of unfair to compare them because they're both different styles, sort of. I feel like Mateo Chavez is more attack centric, whereas Gallardo he's more balanced. He overlaps, but he also holds it down. He defends very well and has a lot of experience. So, but I do think that Mateo Chavez has to have earned that starting spot at right back because what else would it take? Like the kid got man of the match. I mean, I not to be, having recency bias, but it's like we've all been calling for Mateo Chavez to get that chance for a long time, and the dude scores a goal, gets man of the match, and he hustles. He hustles. That he's got pace, man. The way he ran to that net, I mean, he's got a lot of pace. He's faster than Santiago Jimenez. He's faster than certainly faster than Memote. I don't know what that dude was doing in there. And of course, Romo assisted. Ain't that about a bitch? Romo scores in the game against Korea, the lone goal of the game, and then he assisted the first goal of the next game against the Czechs. How the hell did Romo suddenly become Iniesta, bro? Prime Iniesta for Mexico. Like, this is ridiculous, man. You can't make this shit up. With that said, I still do not want to see Romo starting again for Mexico for the rest of this tournament. Neither do I want to see Jorge Sanchez start. I'll even go as far as to say I never want to see Jorge Sanchez play for Mexico again. Not in the World Cup, not in friendlies, not at the Gold Cup, Nations League. That guy has no business being on that pitch, man. He looks so out of place, so clumsy. He looks like a fan, bro, that was given, maybe he won a sweepstakes, and so they put the jersey on him and let him go out there and run with the team. Like a fan that just plays rec soccer, that goes to parks and plays with his friends, and maybe he's slightly above average with his friends, but then with the national team, he looks like that. Like he doesn't belong. I don't know. He be getting caught offside, trying to run up there, trying to be an attacker. Like, come on, bro. Edson Alvarez is absolutely the captain of this team. I've been said that we need to trust in our captain, man. He's an experienced veteran at this point. It's crazy to even say that. Because I still remember when Edson Alvarez was first like being groomed to become the captain, and now we're talking about him like someone who's been around, because he has. Time flies, man. Crazy. But yeah, Edson Alvarez, I would keep him, bro, at CDM. And we have depth now with Eric Lira, who could come in should something happen to Edson or he gets one of those inevitable yellow cards. But yeah, and obviously the pairing of Montes Vasquez, if it ain't broke, why fix it? I want to see Il Mora and Obed Vargas start. I know Fidalgo scored a screamer. He scored a banging ass goal. But I still think it's better for Gilberto Mora and Obed Vargas to start. Two youngsters, two dynamic midfielders. Or Gilberto Mora and Fidalgo. And Obed could come in as a sub, I guess. But man, I really want to see Gil Mora and Obed play together, bro, in the midfield. I really want to see that. Hell, I really want to see Gil Mora and Gutierrez play. I really want to see that too. I know a lot of people have been shitting on Brian Gutierrez, as I mentioned in the last transmission, but he's a good player, man. He's a really good player. And he didn't start. The reason he didn't start is because he was on a yellow card. I forgot about that. I actually completely forgot about that. That went way over my head. But that's the only reason he didn't start this last game. Now, it might have been a blessing in disguise for one Gil Mora and Fidalgo. Fidalgo, of course, getting very emotional too. I was surprised by that. That actually kind of caught me off guard too. When Fidalgo scored that badass goal, man, he like started crying. And he kissed the Mexico badge and stuff, and I'm like, wow, this dude, he's a Spaniard, but he truly is a Mexican, bro. You know what I mean? Like, just like Quinones, like, These guys might have been born in other countries, but they've adopted the Mexican way of life. They've adopted the Mexican culture, and they clearly love it. They're balling out for the team, scoring goals. I mean, fuck it, man. You know, that was a really cool moment, a cool thing to see. So all in all, man, I just want to say that this team right now is riding a very high wave, but I just want people to really, it's okay to have dreams. It's okay to dream big, man, but don't let your expectations lead you to a point where you're gonna be absolutely devastated, bro, when this team inevitably gets eliminated. And actually, I feel like I'm talking to myself right now. I mean, I pretty much am, because nobody listens to shit. But seriously, if anybody is listening to this and you're a Mexico fan, just kind of taper your expectations just a wee bit, man. You know, yes, Mexico's undefeated. They successfully won Group A without conceding a single goal. And you know what? They're going into the knockout stages with a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence, and a lot of pizzazz, a lot of what do you je ne sais quoi? I don't know, man, but they are looking good right now. But just don't expect them to win the whole damn tournament. I'm sorry. I hate to be a negative Nancy. I hate to be like, I don't know, pessimistic Pete over here, but I'm just trying to be realistic, man, because I lived through Chepo ball. I lived through the Tata era. I lived through so much with this team, man. And moments where we looked like we could actually finally do it and at least go deeper into the tournament. Looking at you, Piojo Herrera in 2014, only to lose on a damn penalty. No era penal. And like I've seen it all with this team, man. I feel like in these past 16 years. So I'm just telling y'all right now, taper your expectations. Enjoy this ride while it lasts. And like they say, man, the journey is always the most memorable part and the best part. Never mind getting to the destination. It's all about the journey getting there. It's always the funnest, the best, the most memorable. And that's how we have to think about this. There's gonna be a lot of devastated people when and if Mexico gets knocked out finally. So anyway, I don't want to end this on a sour note though, man. Damn. You know what? Fuck it. Bring me France. Bring me England, bring me Ecuador, bring me Germany, homie. Bring me Argentina, motherfuck Messi. We're gonna win the whole damn tournament. We're gonna raise that trophy. We're gonna sneak in Medellin, the duck, and raise his ass up too. Viva Mexico, cabrones.